Hi, thanks for joining me with Self Seeds Through the Eyes of the Horse. And as you can see, I'm riding Juan today. I'm taking him out in an area that he's never been to before. So that's always an adventure and a big point of trust. So today, as you can see, when I got on him, I had to open the gate to go off the property. So I mounted him from the ground, which he's being awesome about. And then I'm heading straight across this field. So he's a little bit unsure. One of the things I'm finding that's kind of interesting is these fields, they have a lot of ants in them. So I think when I'm riding the horses, I've noticed that a couple of them are kind of stamping their legs a bit. So I'm not sure if the ants are crawling up the plants, and then when the horse walks by, the ants get on their legs. So, and also I've noticed these plants are a little bit sticky, so this is kind of a new adventure for the horses, having these strange plants. Now, you can see that car approaching. It's a little concerning because even though Juan is good about cars, he's also a little afraid of whatever's happening to the left of him because he's never seen this place before. So I was kind of holding him over to the left because obviously when you're making those kind of decisions, a moving car is so detrimental that the priority is that he has to try to stay obedient so we can minimize any chance of getting in front of that car. So there always is a risk. And, you know, you've seen in the other videos that I've ridden Juan by cars and with cars going by, but when he hasn't had to experience spooking and making a choice between being a little bit spooky and living in a moving car. So it just upped the ante. He did great, but it's definitely up the ante. Now, what I did in this ride, it was a little under an hour's ride, so I snipped out a minute intervals of the ride, and then that way, because I didn't think anybody needed to see an hour of trail riding, so I just snipped out different places. And here we're going through, they cut a hole in the fence, and I'm always careful looking down at what is there because I'm always a little bit nervous there may be a piece of wire or something unexpected that may show up. But I've been through there a couple times on different horses, and now I'm headed down through a little ravine that he has to walk across some rocks and make decisions. One day there will be running water there. That'll be a big one for him. And now we're going up a little bank. So it's kind of I remember these were great NATRC obstacles that you'd show your horse's ability to navigate going down and up and through something. I'm looking at the ground because there's something strange that caught my eye, and now you could see a little hesitancy to navigate going down the bank. The angle looks less here than it actually is, and then that long road to the that paved section, that's actually an airport. So I was thinking today while I was on Juan, I'm like, well, if we have a plane come along and land while we're riding, that's a pretty big obstacle. Luckily, this road that you just saw that I got on, now I'm trotting down the road, it's kind of cool. I'm not sure if I'm going to get kicked out or not, but it goes with the estate properties next door, and it's nice. I'm really glad to have found this. People walk their dogs here, and I know the first day that I took Nador down here, somebody was walking their dog, but they were really happy and smiley and waving, and didn't seem to mind that I was riding the horse on their dog walk area. So Juan's experiencing, see little funny things with buildings and piles of wood and that little man there, and here's different things. So again, he's trotting. He's never been here before, and he's by himself. So, you know, you can appreciate what a good boy he's being. Now, this is a little area that heads into where the golf course actually is that goes with the estate. So, a little different terrain. Here we got grass and a hill. I've seen that there are deer in the area, so maybe we'll get a chance to see deer. Sometimes people are walking their dogs or there's loose dogs. So I know that he's fine about cows now and packs of dogs and all that, but still, it's still all, potentially learning opportunities. And again, he's completely by himself. I've had nobody, when I'm training all these young horses, I haven't had anybody to trail ride with. So I just am careful. Here, I'm going to go ahead and turn around. I just spotted a person on a golf cart up ahead, and I kind of, selfishly don't want to get kicked out of this area, so I want to take advantage of this road for the next 6 weeks while I'm still in the area. And so I'll just be a little bit thoughtful not to just think, oh, training opportunity, golf cart. Here's some people park their car, so I'm using this as a training opportunity. Cars there, wasn't there when I went by. There's some people talking off to the left. They didn't yell at me, so I feel like, okay, things are going well. And then as you can know that as you turn around, everything looks different because the different eye is on the different side. So this time, as you see the buildings on the left coming up, those were on his right side. So all of that is training opportunities, and I'm looking at the rhythm, the steadiness. He is so not hurried. He's not lazy, but he's just going in a really lovely, quiet rhythm. No stress, very simple, trotting along. I love this. He's just like, really safe trotting, not anxious, not trying to go fast, just trotting along like you'd want a horse to be if they were pulling a buggy. Just that steady, which is again impressive. So we are finding our path to go back through the wire fence. And so we did the trot down the road and the trot back. And now we find where the grass is a little bit smashed down. I've taken a couple of the horses here, so you can see how a path starts. And then he's got to go up the bank and down the bank and through the ravine again. And he's already made that much of a clarity in his mind. Look, not even a hesitation. Little look, and then just right on. So again, shows what a fast learner he is. Some horses, they'd be quite troubled by that. I've been actually leading him over a little water ravine every single day to go in and out from where I get him out of his paddock. And it just happens the water runoff is coming down from the avocados. And so I am taking full advantage. And it's interesting to watch him make decisions because that's his biggest concern is that water is anyway. So to watch him make decisions, but then you see how smart he is to make a decision around going by the rocks and up and down the hill. And now we're trotting. Now I'm making a point to trot in through the farm area because there's some pretty weird stuff for him to look at. And you know me, I'm trying to safely take advantage of training. So that big pile of stuff on the left are irrigation. I'm going to let him walk by this because I want him to process that. It's pretty strange. And then the container on the right, but that big piles, they use all the stuff on the left for irrigating. So that's, yeah, it's kind of interesting. And then we head back along the road. And he's just doing great. We had a couple of moments out there. There were some really scary things for him. And we had a little conversation around that. He went. But it's interesting, every horse has their style of no. And his style, when he's so agreeable. There I'm taking him by. They're going to make a greenhouse, it turns out, of that stuff. He's so bloody agreeable 99.9% of the time that when he says no, it's interesting how he says no. Like, he says no like absolutely no. It's not a maybe, it's a no. So he goes from being totally agreeable to absolutely no, we can't do that, it's impossible. So I'm working, it doesn't happen much. Now, interestingly enough, there was this, on the left on the right coming up, there was a wheel of hose. And boy, that was a no the other day. So he's looking a little tiny bit for where is that hose. It's so strange. One of the other horses was absolutely freaked out by it too. So again, what the heck? I wish I understood more of what they see. Now, coming up, you could see all this plastic on the right. They use it, I think, as a wind block. It's like a long black dragon. The whole thing is vibrating and moving in a long, long line. So it's amazing training. All the horses are doing well with it, but it is amazing training because it's flapping and it's like a giant ribbon, and it's pretty cool. So anyway, it's studying his nose. So it's a little area to chip on periodically that, it doesn't matter to me where the no is. It has to be looked at. So thoughtfully change that brain pattern to no, I can't, to maybe I can, but I'm unsure. And so here we are walking back to the ranch. It's a beautiful ranch, isn't it? I mean, it's really been, I love every ranch, but this one, I think it's the energy from the Indian, that it was an Indian reservation or something, but well cared for. The guys are absolutely awesome. And here we are. Juan came back. Now, an interesting little thing is he gives a little nicker, like, hey guys, I'm back. Did anybody miss me? You gotta appreciate all that.